Hi there, and welcome to the recorded workshop for the online courses and communities in high level. We'll be starting in just a minute when everyone's joined the call, so we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Regarding the course, we'll look at the courses first of all. And the courses are pretty much like Kajabi, even to the point where you can actually, if you've got a Kajabi account, yeah, you can actually import the courses direct from Kajabi. So maybe it lacks maybe some of the some of the bells and whistles that maybe Kajabi has, but it's a pretty good system. It's built right into high level with no additional cost. So you can access it through the main menu here on the left. Go to memberships, and then on the top here you'll see the client portal, courses, and communities. Okay, so the first thing to consider is the client portal. And this is basically the login page that people use. And I'll show you an example of one of those. Okay, so this is what we call the client portal in high level. And this is obviously how someone who's access to courses and the communities. You can brand it a little bit. You can put your logo there, but you can't play with it too much. It's quite a basic in that respect. So this is your client portal where someone would come to once they've been granted access to a course or a community. And when they log in here, you can see whatever you've assigned them to be able to access. In this case, I've got access to courses. See here, in this account here, I've got access to two free courses. Equally, there could be paid courses. I'll show you what a course looks like. Click into here. Again, you can personalize it to a degree, okay? So you can customize the banner here. You can put your logo there, which is really small, isn't it? And then pretty much you can't you can't change the background color here, for instance. You fixed how it looks. But this is very, very similar to Kajabi anyway. So you see here in this course here, I've got 54 lessons. Here's the instructor. And you can see here listing of all the 54 lessons. And you can split them down into modules as well. So here's the getting started module. If I click onto the course here, you've got obviously the video of the course. You can have any description, download any supporting materials, any resources, all that sort of thing. Okay, and they work their way through the course, marking each section as complete. Yeah, which is important because that can feed into our automation later on. So the courses work really well and closely with the workflows to automate processes. So we'll look at that later on. When these can all be timed as well, so they drip feed out. So for instance, if you wanted to, you could have each part of these courses dripping out every day. So if it's a 28-day course, they could see it appear one day at a time. Each lesson could appear over a month, say, or you can set it so when they mark this lesson complete, then this one appears and so on and so forth. So you don't have to dish it all up in one go. You can drip feed it out. Also, when they get to the bottom of them, when they complete a module or complete the whole course, you can actually have them do a test. Yeah, it can be just a simple test, or they've got to pass the test to move on to the next stage. Yeah, we can also give them certificates and badges, so very, very similar to Kajabi in that respect. Does that make sense? Okay, guys, any questions?
No,
Everyone okay on that one? Brilliant. So that's what the courses look like when they're finished. So as I said before, you go to memberships and then you see there's a client portal where the initial login page, there's all the settings for that. Yeah. You set all your settings, you put your branding on there, your domain setup if you want it on your a subdomain and things like that. Email settings, so you've got various notifications you can send out. Community courses, see the courses here. So when someone's signed up for a course, you can send a template email, a drip email. So if you're releasing it on a daily basis, they get an email every day. And you can even when somebody comments on a course, you can send everyone an email, things like this. Now these templates are they're generic, okay? So if you've got 10 courses in the system, uh, each course gets the same email, so you can't not yet anyway, you can't personalize these emails to specific courses. It's sort of a generic email goes out. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so there's the client portal. If you come to courses, so a course in HighLevel is called a product, okay, which can be confusing with actual products in e-commerce. So a course is actually also called a product. So if you click on products here, and you can have as many courses as you like when it loads. Okay, so this is the one Atticus has been preparing this week. Yeah, so we'll click into this. You see here you got settings there. You can preview it, you can edit the details, you can clone the course and move away here. Yeah. When you need to create a new product or a new course, in the case, you can create a product, you can start from scratch. Or as I said before, you can actually import it directly from Kajabi if you've already created these courses. So big time saver if you want to move away from Kajabi there. We won't create one from scratch because Askers has been building one up for us here. So we click on here. Okay, so what you see here, so there's this first, so what Atticus has been doing is taking all the recordings from these workshops and loading them as a 13 lesson course. Okay, and we can preview that here. So this is what customers would see. So this is when it's all been unlocked. You see here, and you see here we've got we're uploading all the videos from these workshops. So it looks quite neat actually. Well, that's the plan view, isn't it? And you've even created a certificate. So when somebody completes the whole course, they get a certificate. Go back out of there. And you see here, it's just adding the page, simply adding the pages. And you can see here in the settings where Atticus has been locking them. This particular lesson only becomes available when the preceding lesson is completed. Is that correct, Atticus?
Yeah, so I've got it set up so once the high level foundations quiz has been completed, that's when the next that's the week two simply about marketing will become available.
See, right, okay.
So you can go through do all the quizzes and get all the videos if you want to, or if you want to watch videos and do the quiz, you can do it that way as well.
Okay, I didn't know you'd done that way. Yeah, so you see here, so Atticus got the week one high level foundations as a lesson, and then after when they complete that, they get the quiz, correct?
You know, they get the quiz and the lesson at the same time.
If you click on here, the lesson, you'll see how we configure that. So you can use Word really. You can set these up. Upload your vid. In this case, upload a video. Equally, it could be an audio file if you wish. So you could upload that to your media center in HighLevel. Obviously, give the workshop a title. You've got it in the one cat. We've only got a single category here. Just one category contains all 13 workshops and quizzes. Obviously, description for the lesson. You can see here. Thumbnail image recommended to be 1280 by 720. We can have a thumbnail. I didn't know that you could have a thumbnail video now.
Yeah.
Right, didn't know that. Right, okay. And when you're ready to publish it, you publish it, and you can attach files, any resource files that you want people to download. You would add them there. So it's really a case of just creating each lesson like that, which is quite straightforward, and then just ordering in the right way. Maybe, let's say we've only got one module, but you might have separate, a starter, an intermediate, and advanced module, for instance, modules. So the course is a product, and then in order to be able to offer it to people, you have to create what they call an offer. So Atticus has created a high level workshops, and it's basically free. There's no charge for this one. Yeah. So you create the offer. And before we move away from this section, you've obviously got some analytics. Because there's no one in this course, there's no one to see, but it will show you who signed up for the course and how far they've progressed through the course. You'll see that in your analytics section here. But I say there's nothing to show you on this one at the moment. And then you've got your settings here. Obviously, you might want the courses on a subdomain, so you can set up a subdomain for that. Again, you got the customize your email settings, which takes you to the email settings for when somebody signs up for a course, when new content is released as part of a drip. Control the brand is where you control the branding of your course. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of playing to make it look how you want to. As I say, it's not the most customizable thing, so there is a bit of a compromise there, but it's pretty good because it's just built in. There's no extra cost. Okay, so that's all about where the courses live, how you create them. I'll now show you how you grant someone access to the course. So we've got the course set up now. To grant someone access to the course, you would use the automation. So I'll just create a quick one here. I'll just create a blank one here. Create a new workflow. I'll start from scratch. So to first of all, obviously we can sell the courses and we can give them away for free. Okay. So first of all, we have to decide how we're going to trigger to give somebody access to a course, shall I say. So we might use a purchase trigger. Yeah. We might have built within the site section high level, we might have built a landing page, simple landing page, and embedded onto it an order form. It could be a one-step order form or a two-step order form. Obviously, we'll cover this in next week's workshop, which is the e-commerce one. Well, we create a landing, one way to do it, we create a landing page, we embed an order form on it, and then when that processes the order and takes payment, usually by Stripe, but other ways are available, we'd then be triggering here, a trigger here like an order submitted. And it might be a global product. So have I got any set up here? I'll check in a sec. Okay, so not a very good example here, but I'll give you the idea. That's the product I've got set up in my e-commerce. So I can say, okay, when that is purchased, order source is, and drill down into the actual form. Yeah. So I think I've got all the put. Yeah. So it takes a little bit of testing to make this right, but basically we can trigger so that when the system takes an order, that is our trigger. And then it's just basically actions. So we click on actions, we type in course, grant course offer. Yeah, the offer is, you remember we created the product, which was the course, and then we had to create an offer, which we called high level workshops. So that would then grant them access like that. We save that. And what that will do then, when the order is placed, straight away, so they grant them an offer, grant them access to the course, and obviously if they're paid, then it's a paid course. Grant them access, and then they'll get a default email granting them access to the courses. So you set that up in the course settings, the email settings. They'll get an email granting them access to the course, and it'll include their login details and password, which they can then change, and then they can then that grants them access to that particular course. Okay, so save that like that. You might have noticed as well, say someone sets up a subscription with you from e-commerce, and the subscription fails or they cancel, then equally we can take away access from the course. We can revoke the course offer, so we could then remove them so they can no longer access that course. Yep. So that's how you could do it. That's how we can give them access when they're paying. Obviously, we could feed them into the same thing. So if we could have it so that they just have to fill a form in, like a lead magnet, fill a form in to get the course. We could do that as well. We just put in a form here. Form submitted. Choose whichever form. I'll just change. I'm going to choose one at random here. Form is maybe that one. Whichever one, doesn't matter. But that's just someone goes onto your website, fills in a form or does anything really, and that could trigger to grant them access to the course. Yeah, and obviously in amongst here we could add other marketing elements as well, email messages, text reminders. Yeah, so anything could trigger to give them access to course, paid or free. Yes, it's all done through the automation, and you'll see here. So that might be when they trigger to trigger from a purchase. There's probably other course triggers as well. Let me check. So obviously you wouldn't build this in the same workflow, but you see these are all the other triggers we've got in the automation. Yeah. So when they start a particular category of a course, we could trigger automation. So because when they start the course, we can send them an email. When they complete a part of the course, when they start an individual lesson, we could trigger automation. When the lesson's completed, when offer of a course is granted, removed. Yeah. So with this, you can do an awful lot. Okay. So I have seen examples where people are using the sales pipeline to track course progress. Yeah. So if I show you quickly there what I mean. So say you've got people signing up for a course, free or paid, yeah. Let me just check. Course. Let's just save that for myself so I can find it in a minute. Yeah. So say you've got people signing up for a course. What you could do is you use the opportunities like this. And obviously here we're just using this one here, demo pipeline. Yeah, there's only 3 stages, but if you have three lessons in your course, you could visually see it. So you see people sort of flowing through the course as they complete each section. So you can visually see where they are in your training course. And also you got some advanced features you can kick in then. So for instance, if someone's sat in stage 1 of your course for too long, maybe a week, and they do nothing, then that can be seen as a stale opportunity. So we could then, if they're staying there too long, we could ping them a message. Hey, are you stuck with the course? Do you need any help? Or a task for us to call them, or what are you going to do? So it's a way of managing your trainees, shall we say, using the sales pipeline in a creative way. Okay, I'll go back to the automation.
That'd be good
Any,
for staff training, wouldn't it? For
yeah,
staff training, seeing where they're up to.
good idea. Yeah, good idea actually. Yeah. So I've got some clients who don't sell courses or give courses to their clients. One's a photography studio, uh, but they're using it for in-house staff training courses. And using something like this to track the progress of your staff, you can monitor how they're going through the course, ultimately give them a certificate that they completed the course. Things like that. So it gets a bit more creative than just a sales pipeline. Went back to the automation. Yeah, so that's pretty much it really. So in the membership section, that's where you build your products, your courses, and the workflows and the automation is where you do the magic. You give people access to the course. You can take away access to the course. If someone pays for a course, they can give an access or a free course. Uh, and also, as people progress through your course, you can trigger things to happen, things to start and stop as they go through. You can have unlimited courses in the platform, which is really good. If you go to credentials, then here, I think it's in credentials now, they've moved it about. Yeah, here is where you would design your certificates. So there's so many, I thought you had one here, Atticus.
It's in
Uh,
templates.
was it templates? Okay. Where do you see templates there? Oh, there, I've got you now, yeah. Yeah. Is that the one there?
I think so. I don't know. That's two.
Yeah. So you can send them a PDF with a little certificate with their name embedded on it and things like that. You send that one. So that's a certificate after you can have it after each sort of module or when you finally complete the course. You can also have badges in the system as well with the badges. issued badges. I don't think you've got one there, have you? So a badge might be a little logo to say they're certified in XYZ, and they could take that little logo and put it onto their website or their email signature to get the idea that they're qualified in your particular course. So that's what the badges are there. Okay, so that's pretty much the courses module for me. It's really sort of digging in there and playing with it and sort of customizing it to your use, but within the constraints of working within a template system. So before I move on to communities, any more questions on courses?
Yeah, can I just ask a question about the content for the courses? So you've obviously used the video recording from, previous webinars.
Yeah.
What other content could you add that could then be run in the course?
So if we just go to here, so with each lesson has this page, this panel here. Yep. So
Yeah,
typically these days people would have a video in there,
yeah. So
but
if for example you had a slide deck that you wanted to talk through,
okay,
you
yes,
could, you could record that as a video and then upload that
yes,
as the way of delivery for the content.
you could do yes, a sort of a slide share presentation. Yeah, yep. Uh, you can upload audio as well here. It could be just an audio file. Go there, and you see here you can attach files here, Steve. Here, yep.
Yeah,
So that could be a PowerPoint.
transcript or something.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So what this platform doesn't do is it's not going to do live calls like this. This is all pre-recorded course.
Pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, with in terms of marketing this thing, you'd set the course up. Say you did a campaign on Facebook or whatever to say, get instant access to a marketing planning training or whatever. They visit the landing page, they sign up for it, and then the course just runs completely in their own time, any time of day or night. There's no limit there, and they just access it and work their way through it.
Absolutely, yeah. So I say when they're first given access, either paid or free, yeah, they'll get the default email saying you've been granted access to the course.
Yeah.
Here's the link to access it. Here's the login details. So they get that, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got an idea. I'll talk to you after this.
Right. Okay. Okay, no problem. So we'll move to the second part then if there's no more questions. So a community is like having your own sort of private Facebook group. I must admit I've not used this at all myself. I'll show you some examples. Yeah, we're going to show you it today, but I'm not sure how useful it is because most people tend to be using like a Facebook group or a private Facebook group. So, but so you're aware of what's available in HighLevel, I'll just show you here. So I'll just bring up a group I'm a member of. So go to here and go to let me find it. Okay. This is a group run by a friend of mine, Gareth Everson here. So you see here, so I've a look out here. Look out. So you first arrive at the page, yeah. So it's like a sort of your own community, your own sort of Facebook page, but it's not on Facebook. So here's a private group here. When you log in, yeah, you can access the group in here. So you can see the discussion. You can link it to your courses here, so you can see any courses they've got access to. It would be here, yeah. You can see all the members in there. Yeah, you see how it's not very active. It's the last year ago they were last active. You can also host events in here. So you can build your own little community in here. But the thing is, I've found that most people are active in Facebook. They know that. If you give them another link to log into, another password, um, it's just taking people to another place when they're familiar with Facebook. So you may have a use for this, but we're just showing you what's available. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. You have categories, resources, links.
So how do people get notifications if there's a new post or anything like that? Does that go to their email or text or something?
Yeah, yeah. There's settings for that. Yeah. So and also the automation, the workflow automation as well. Yeah. So that's what it looks like. Just show you. And then I'll show you in the settings now. If you go to communities, you click on groups. You can have as many groups as you want as well. I've got one set up in mine actually somewhere. Let me go to my other account. I'll show you something I've got set up. So I click on community like that and go to groups. You see, I've got one group set up here already. And if I click on there with me as well. So if I log into there, I'll show you what it looks like. I forgot I had this actually. So here's one I set up for MarketerM8, which maybe we should promote or Attica say. uh, you see there's just three members in there. So that's one I've set up there. Go back out here, go to your communities, where we got that. You go to your settings. So you create a subdomain to host your little group on. So you get this so it might be group one at your group one dot your domain. Set up a subdomain, you see here. I've got that one set up as default there, yeah. But you can have a custom domain, which I set up as members.marketermate.com on my domain. So you set up a domain there. And obviously when they go to that domain, they'll be asked for their login details, which would have been supplied via the workflow automation. Domain setup, again, you've got the email settings as well. You see, you go to communities now. It loads. So these are all the emails you can send out from the group. You know, when they first joined the group, when they're approved, but when they declined, um, when there's a new comment on a post. Yeah, see, all that triggers here. It's all done by email, Steve.
Yeah.
Learning. That's the learning the courses. Subscription payment status. So if a member of a paid group, you can have paid groups or free groups as well. So if their subscription is cancelled, trigger an email to say you've been cancelled or locked out, whatever. Yeah, it's just customizing it to your requirements within the confines of this sort of the template system we've got here. Is that making sense, Steve?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
You got that there. So there's not much to customize really. You're very fixed with the layout of that group. You know, you can't rearrange the tabs much. Like I don't think you can at all. You can change logos and things, but it's pretty much a fixed sort of setup. Yeah, and obviously then we've got this. So these are the default when someone's admitted to the group when a new reply is submitted to a comment. These these are just template emails that say there's a new post. Go and go and log into your group. But also then we've got the automation as well. Go back to the automation. We can look at automation we can trigger based off of the group. Create your workflow. Start from scratch. So we'll first of all look at the triggers. So if I type in communities here, so we've got one trigger, community group member leaderboard level changed. So that's the only community group member leaderboard level change. I've not used that myself yet. I'd have to explore what that meant. We've got a trigger there, but equally to grant them access, just again, similar process. If someone fills in an order form and completes a payment, maybe a one-off payment, excuse me, or a subscription, that could be the trigger. If they subscribe to your group, that could be a trigger there, and then we'll have the actions here. The type in communities. Um, grant access to the leaderboard. So I think that's tracking how active people are in the community. And bear with me a sec. Okay. So I think whenever I'd have, you know what, I'd have to check what that does myself because I've never used it.
How would you grant them access?
Hang on a sec. Let me just try this a second, 1 second. Go down here. So you see all the actions we've got available. Maybe I'm not searching for the right one. Hang on.
Community at the bottom.
There we go. Yeah. So I just wasn't searching on the right thing before. But you see, smart push notification. So these are all the actions we can do. Here's where you grant someone access, just like the courses. Yeah. So by putting that one in, I'm granting them access to that group. So if they've already paid a subscription or a payment, that would be the trigger, and this would be the action to let them into that group. Yeah. I'll try some other ones. Okay. Take them out, remove them from the group, don't let them access. Uh, grant private channel access, not sure on that one. Uh, so there's where there's where the actions live. As I say, if anyone wants to do if anyone wants to set up a community, I'm happy to jump on a separate call with them and work through it because I'd learn a few more advanced tricks because it's not been a very commonly requested feature
Hello.
in communities. Sorry, so was that the question?
No, no.
Okay, that basically sums it up for me. So, is there any further questions from anybody?
No, nothing in the chat.
You okay there,
So
Steve? Any
yeah,
more?
the community side of it. What's the advantage of using the community within GoHighLevel? Does it feed into, the actual contents, the contacts you've got in there? Does it appear in the conversation? How do you actually track what conversations or engagement there's been in the community?
Uh, well, if you're the admin, you'll get notified when the posts are made or the replies, etc.
Yeah,
Uh, but there's no sort of dashboard that gives you well, you could log in yourself and you can see the comments, but it will give you the heads up that a new comment has been made and you reply, etc.
yeah.
Is there a tab in the contact record, maybe?
Let's have a look at one.
Like you've ever had to look at it.
Yeah, well, I'll show you my contact record because obviously you can grant access people to the courses and the communities. If we go to here, we just search for me a second. Let's pull up my contact here. What I can do. So I'm in a contact record now, and if I want to give someone access to a course or a community now, I scroll down here like this, and you see course offers. So again, in this account, I don't have any courses set up, but if I had the high level workshops courses here, I could give them free access to the course. Yeah, just by adding the course there. Again, it would trigger to send the default email to saying you've been invited to the course. Here's your login details. You can see here you'll see all the courses, paid and free courses have been given, all listed here. Similar with the community groups. You see here, so I could grant access to myself to that group I've set up. Saying error email not found. Plugin has not set up a template email, but that would grant me access to the course, not the course, sorry, the community automatically. And equally, I could take someone out of the community by just removing it here, like that. Now, does it? You notice here when I added myself to the community, it didn't update the conversation view, Steve. So I think the courses and the communities are sort of separate in that respect to this conversation view.
Yeah,
Does that answer the question?
yeah, that's sort of yeah.
Again, if you want to dig deeper, Steve, happy to jump on a separate call uh, and, and go through it because I say I'm a little bit rusty on this one because I've not had much call to use it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can post onto the community via the social media planner, though.
Good point. I have to go and think of that. Yes,
Yeah.
you can. Yes. So if you go to social media planner, well thought. Yeah. So when you're doing all your social media work, yeah, you put a new post, create a new post, post to, and should be able to. Where is it? Creates a new group. How do you? Maybe because I've not connected the. Let me go back. I've probably not connected that group I created. Hang on. So I'll just go here.
Not sure how you connect it up. I thought once you add a community, it just automatically did.
Yes. Where is that? Where does that live? Um. So give me a second to try and find this. See here, add the community. So this is something I haven't done before. So add the community. Hopefully it'll find the one I've created. There it is there, add. Phew, found it, Atticus. Yeah, so I've now connected that group that I created a long time ago here. So now I should be able to post from the social media straight into the community. So add a new post, create a new post, select a social account. There's my MarketerM8 user group. That's the group there. So then I could post straight into the community, notify all group members. I've done that one to there yet. Don't search for user yet. So I could post straight from the social media planner into that community. Good point, Atticus. Is that it, Steve? Any more questions?
No, that's fine for now. Yeah.
Okay, we've got like 10 minutes left of the hour, guys. Any more questions from anybody? No, nothing? Silence?
Silent.
Okay, then. If there's no more questions, then guys, I won't take you any longer from your lunch. Um, Next week we're looking at the e-commerce and affiliate manager module. So you're welcome to book onto that course. You should see. Can you pop a link in there, Atticus, so people can book on into the chat?
Yes, I get it now.
Brilliant. Okay, and you should get within about an hour or so. Should get an automated email with a recording of this video, and in there there'll be a QR code as well if you want to book up the call, to book up the any other workshops, and also if you want to book a discovery call to talk in any more detail about any aspects on high level.
Thank you for watching our workshop on communities and courses for HighLevel. The next workshop is e-commerce and affiliate marketing. If you'd like to book on, there's a QR code appearing on the screen now. If you want to book a discovery call and learn more about HighLevel, equally same QR code. There's a link there. Great. See you in the next one. Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.